Therapy failed me, not because I was broken, but because it wasn't needed. Words couldn't reach the chaos inside me, but this game, this world, it did. When everything went quiet, when the world stopped making sense, I found my peace in chaos. They say it's just a game. They don't get it. This is where I found myself again. They say therapy helps. The words heal. I sat in those rooms, poured out my soul, but the silence after was always louder than the advice. The world just went quiet. But when the real world shut me out, I found a different kind of therapy. A world where the monsters were visible and the fight was tangible. Dying Light didn't fail me, it saved me. When people said it's just a game, they never realized this was where I found myself again. This wasn't escape, it was confrontation. I used to think therapy was about talking your way out of pain, deconstructing the trauma, dissecting the anxiety, but sometimes words don't fix what only action can. My mind was a tangled mess of what ifs and regrets. My body a shell, but in Haran, in the forest, in the park, my mind had to be sharp. My body had to move. There was no room for thinking when a runner was on your tail, or a pack of zombies was between you and safety. Every failed jump, every clumsy combat encounter, every mission where I almost died, it was a mirror, a raw, unforgiving reflection of how I felt in the real world. Vulnerable, overwhelmed, consistently on the brink. But unlike real life, in the park, I could try again. I could learn. I could fight back. I started to see a pattern. The frustration of dying to a zombie horde. It was the same frustration of being rejected from a job. The fear of volatile screams at night. Echoes of the anxiety attacks that kept me awake. But here, in this digital apocalypse, I had a purpose. I had a machete. And somewhere between the fear and the freedom, I started to heal. Not from the problems themselves, but from the paralysis they induced. This wasn't a game. It was a boot camp for my soul. Not just concrete walls, but the walls in my head. The fear of trying. The paralysis of perfectionism. But in Dying Light, if you don't jump, you don't survive. You fall. You get eaten. It taught me about improvisation. Turning a handful of common components into a weapon, a lifeline. How many times had I felt like I had nothing, only to realize I had a whole inventory of skills, experiences, and small victories. I just needed to learn how to craft them. And the night, oh the night, that was when the park truly tested you. When the volatiles hunt, when fear is a tangible force. But the night also brings opportunity, double XP, rare loot. The biggest challenges often hold the greatest rewards. Just like facing my own demons, it was terrifying. Yes, but it was also where I grew the most. This wasn't escapism, it was active engagement with simulated struggle. And it built a muscle I didn't even know I had. Resilience. My eyes can distinguish fantasy from reality, but my mind often struggled. And maybe that's the point. Because when I step into the park, when I face down a horde of volatiles under a blood-red moon, I don't feel like I'm playing a game. I feel unstoppable. My heart races, my palms sweat, my focus is absolute. That energy, that primal survival instinct, it bleeds into real life. It reminds me what it feels like to be decisive, to be powerful, to choose to fight rather than flee. When I'm concerned, When I'm cornered by a pack of infected, I don't freeze, I assess, I strategize, I act. And that same clarity, that same courage started appearing when I faced my own anxiety, my own procrastination. I forged my path through life the same way I move through the park, with precision in every jump, chaos in every swing, and unwavering faith that I will not only survive the night, but conquer it. The park taught me the difference between reacting to fear and mastering it. The world throws its worst at me. Anxiety, rejection, the fear of being inadequate. But I fought worst. I fought literal monsters in a collapsing city. And in every respawn, in every game over screen, I learned the most profound lesson. It's not failure. It's about progress. It's a data point. A chance to reevaluate, to adapt, to come back stronger. How many times in life do we give up after the first fall, the first rejection, the first mistake? Dying Light taught me that sometimes the only way forward is through death. Not literally, of course, but through the death of old habits, old fears, old limitations. Every time I hit that respawn button in the park, I was hitting reset on my real world mindset. It wasn't about avoiding the pain. It was about accepting it as part of the process. Accepting that sometimes you will die, you will fail, but the game continues, and so do you. The beast didn't break me. The fall didn't end me. They were just part of a level design. So when therapy failed, what did Dying Light truly teach me? It taught me that courage isn't the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. That strength isn't about never falling, but always getting back up. It taught me that monsters in my head were just like the volatile. Terrifying, yes, but predictable, exploitable, and ultimately defeatable with the right tools and mindset. I started applying the Dying Light logic to my real life. Break down big problems into smaller, manageable missions. Collect resources, knowledge, skills, connection. Prioritize threats, anxiety triggers, procrastination traps. And never ever underestimate the power of a well-timed jump. A swift action or the courage to simply keep moving forward. The vastness of the park, ravaged by plague, became my spiritual dojo, and they infected my personal trainers. My quest for healing wasn't found in a therapist's chair, but in the heart of an apocalypse. The world always throws its worst at you. Anxiety, rejection, fear. But you got something those challenges don't. A respawn button. Not in the literal sense, no, but in your spirit, in your capacity to learn, to adapt, and to try again. The beast didn't break me, and the beast won't break you. So find your Haran, your park, find your fight. Whether it's in a game, a new skill, a creative outlet, find that place where you can forge your resilience, face your fears, and reclaim your power. Don't just exist, survive, thrive, and remember, every sunrise is a chance to start fresh, to build something new, to become the legend you were always meant to be. Because sometimes the only way to heal the mind is to unleash the warrior within. If you've ever felt lost, if you've ever felt like therapy failed you, or if you found your own solace in unexpected places, I see you. You're not alone. Share your story in the comments. What's your game? What's your Haran? What's your park? Let's build a community of survivors. This isn't just about playing a game. It's about living. It's about fighting. It's about becoming. It's your one and only Stotiman. Thank you for watching. Stay human, stay strong, and always remember, the night is dark and full of terrors, but so are the opportunities.